Shalom, shalom. What's going on today? This is David again. Just coming to make you another video. This is going to be money, meat, bread, and wine, part 2. So if you're starting this video and you haven't seen part 1, definitely stop this video. Go watch part 1 to its entirety because I did them in order, and I did it in order for a purpose. It's very important that you understand the money and that the Lord, the Father, Yahweh, has ordained these men who have the money from the beginning, from the foundation of the world. So these men, specific men who are weaned from the milk from the Father, given the money from Christ because he knows they're ordained by the Father, right? So their lives are going to turn around drastically. And like Paul says, he's a prisoner to the Lord because he has to do this portion of his work because he's under the hand of the Father and Yahushua. He can't get away from it. Anyway, the more you understand this subject, you will understand that the men who have the money, who are ordained by the Father, the elect, they are the men you need to listen to. Okay? They're ordained by the Father. So the spirits that have perfect faith who listen to them, they are also ordained by the Father. Okay? These are upright individuals, Israelite or true Gentile. You can't speak against them. They're going to believe the men who the Father has set up. It's like you won the lottery. You are the ones who are predestined to get the kingdom. Everyone else, it's a no-no. They were born in vain. It's a test in the world. But this is the mystery. Okay? Who makes it? You got to listen to the man who has the money. Once you understand this, you understand Paul, you understand the New Testament is like the last thing you need to really be reading. It shouldn't be the first thing. You'll be way off. Like them churches. Okay? They all think they're going to make it. None of them are following the order. None of them are going to make it unless the Father has called them from the beginning to wake out of it and to follow what he's ordained. And they do it with a joyous heart. Anyway, we're going to go in the book of Ecclesiastes written by Solomon, a man of the elect man Solomon. It's interesting. People talk bad about Solomon. It's like, do you realize he's the elect? It's like, are you out of your mind? And I'm going to show you that you should not speak against the elect man. Not at all. Not like what they did Moses. It's going to be bad news for you. Yeah, so let me go into Ecclesiastes. King Solomon, elect, a lot of understanding pulsates through these chapters. And then once you understand this, the next part will be Christ. And basically he requires it. If you try to do it any other way, you're a thief and a robber. Let's give all praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, and our King to come, Yahushai, and all praise to you, lost sheep of the house of Israel, and you Gentiles who fear God. Let's get it. Money, meat, bread, and wine. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verses 21 through 26. For there is a man whose labor is in wisdom and in knowledge and in equity. Right. There is a man whose labor is in wisdom, knowledge, and equity, uprightness. Okay? It's his labor. Yet to a man that hath not labor therein, shall he leave it for his portion. Right? So everyone else who doesn't labor in this, you're going to leave it for your portion. It's not a good thing. Let's read. This also is vanity and a great evil. Right? So you labored at everything else in the earth but the word of God. It's a great evil for your portion. For what hath man of all his labor, another vexation of his heart, wherein he hath labored under the sun. Right. Laboring under the sun, meaning you're studying this word because the truth is on the earth. The sun is shining on the earth. Truth is reigning. For all his days are sorrows, and his travail grief. Yea, his heart taketh not rest in the night. Right, because you don't get rest at night. Let's read. This is also vanity, because it's going to be vanity because pretty soon things are going to be good for these men. Let's read. There is nothing better for a man that he should eat and drink. Right. Eating the word of the Lord and drinking from the wine of the Lord, the cup of the Lord. That's all a man is supposed to do, and only the elect men are doing it. And that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. Right, because you're only doing this for your soul. You want to be concerned about where your soul goes in the end. That's the joy in the heart of the elect. These men enjoy this word. Let's read. This also I saw that is from the hand of Yahweh. Right, it's from the Father because they were preordained to do this labor. Okay? These men, let's read. For who can eat, or who else can hasten unto more than I? Right, who can eat more like Solomon? The elect. Let's read. For God giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy. But to the sinner he giveth travail to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before Yahweh. Right, so the sinners, they're gathering and heaping up all these riches, is just going to come to the elect in Yahweh Shai. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. Right, because they're going to perish because all they cared about was gaining the riches of the earth. So all you're doing is gaining money to go to the Lord in the end. And then he's going to give it to the princes, the elect. And they're going to have dominion. Let's read. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 9 through 15. What profit hath he that worketh and wherein he laboreth? Right. So the elect men, you're going to be pulled out from the labor you've had in the world. He's setting you apart. I think, what does it say? In Sirach, I can't remember the chapter. I think it's let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it's moment of leisure. Yes, here it is. It says the Ecclesiastes 38 verse 24. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise. Right. So you're going to have little business. You might lose your job. The things you're going to be doing in the earth might not prosper because the Lord has separated you out of the earth to labor at this word. You're not working for man anymore. You're doing the work of the Lord. Let's read. I have seen the travail which Yahweh hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. Right. This is the travail for you. Right. What did Paul say? He's a prisoner of the Lord. He's a prisoner. Let's read. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he has set the world in their heart. These men's heart, they have the knowledge of the world. Let's read. So that no man can find out the work that Yahweh maketh from the beginning to the end. Right. So only these men have been set apart to learn everything from the beginning and to the end. Not everybody. Let's read. The elect. You need to know that from the beginning to the end. Anyone who doesn't know from the beginning to the end is a false witness. Let's read. I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is a gift of Yahweh. Right. This eating and drinking, that's all you're going to be doing. Eating the word, drinking the wine of the Lord. That's your joy. Be the elect. Let's read. I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And Yahweh doeth it, that men should fear before him. Right. He wants people on the earth to fear him. So he has to set these men apart to come out and teach you. Let's read. That which hath been is now. Right. So this is what used to be on the earth was the Israelites teaching the word of God to keep people fearing the Lord. And that which is to be hath already been. Right. The kingdom of Israel had dominion at one point. It's going to be again. And God required that which is past. Yeah, he wants Israel back on the earth. So this is why the elect are being woke up. Let's read. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 12 through 20. The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much. Right? So a man who works his regular job, he sleeps good. Whether he eat little or much, whether he gets one precept or none. Right? But the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep. That's right, the rich man, the man who has the money, right? You don't get much sleep because you're always studying the word. And the Lord is supping with you, giving you understanding. Let's read. There is a sore evil which I have seen under the sun, namely riches kept for the owners thereof to their hurt. Right, so the riches of the laboring man, right? The regular guy out there getting riches It's to your hurt. But those riches perish by evil travail, and he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand. That's right. As he came forth of his mother's womb, naked shall he return to go as he came, and shall take nothing of his labor, which he may carry away in his hand. Right. It's not going to do nothing for you in the end when you perish. And this also is a sore evil, that in all points as he came, so shall he go. And what profit hath he that hath labored for the wind? Right. You've worked your whole life getting millions of dollars, and when you perish, you're going to be dying the second death because you didn't fear the Lord. Let's read. All his days also he eateth in darkness. Right. You're asleep. You're sleepwalking at the dinner table. You know, you got Versace plates. You know, you got all your peoples around you. They loving you. You're the man, right? But you're sleepwalking. You're in darkness. And he hath much sorrow and wrath with his sickness. That's right. Behold that which I have seen. It is good and comely for one to eat and to drink, and to enjoy the good of all his labor that he taketh under the sun all the days of his life, which Yahweh giveth him, for it is his portion. That's right. Every man also to whom God hath given riches and wealth, and hath given him power to eat thereof. Right. You got the money. He's giving you the power to eat this word, to understand it. Right. And to take his portion and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of Yahweh. Right. For he shall not much remember the days of his life, because God answereth him in the joy of his heart. Right. So the elect men, you're not going to remember your life on the earth, because when you pass on, what was done here, it's gone. Right. This is the joy of your heart, though, studying this word. You've been set up from the beginning to study this word, the elect. Let's read. You got the money. Ecclesiastes 7, verses 11 through 13. Wisdom is good with an inheritance. Right. Knowing that you're an Israelite is good, because you got an inheritance coming. And by it, there is profit to them that see the sun. Right. When this truth starts coming out, you better see the sun. It's profit to you. Excuse me. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. Right. Money, understanding is a defense. Right. Your church pastor will tell you that's talking about carnal money. It's not. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Right. So the ones who have the real wisdom, it gives them life. Right. So the men who have the wisdom, they give you life. That's right. Who the Father has set up. Consider the work of Yahweh, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked. Right. So the men who the elect are, they're going to be the first amongst many brethren. A lot of these brothers are going to be all over the world. They're going to have family, friends, acquaintances, and they're all going to be saying things about him like, this dude was doing this, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. The Lord made him straight. He's been ordained from the beginning to get this understanding. You're making a big mistake by questioning the power of Yahweh. Let's read. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verses 1 through 17. Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. Right, your face is going to be changed. The boldness of your face. You're gonna be rooted in yourself. Right, you're gonna have your beard. You're gonna let your hair grow out. You're not ashamed of who you are anymore, because the Spirit of the Lord is dealing with you. Let's read. If you're a so-called teacher in Israel and you can grow a beard and you don't have one, I'm questioning you immediately. Let's read. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment. That's right. And that in regard of the oath of Yahweh. Be not hasty to go out of his sight. Right. Don't start getting this word when the sun starts shining and go run off and join a camp. Don't be hasty. I'm going to show you in this series. Stand not in an evil thing. Don't stand with the evil. That's right, because a lot of these brothers out here teaching evil. For he doeth whatsoever pleaseth him. He'll destroy you for it. Where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say unto him, what doest thou? Right. So the king is dealing with the elect, right? So where the word of the king is, who he's set up, there's power. So don't question those who have that power. Don't question them. What are you going to do against them? Let's stop there. Let's go to Odes of Solomon, chapter 8. Talks about that. Let's get that. Sorry. Because this is important. Because he talks about this a little bit. Odes of Solomon, chapter 8, he talks about the elect that he crafted. Maybe I should just wait for that. But I'm already on it, so I'm going to just give it to you. Can't help it. I sort of get in a tangent, and it starts going. Right. It says here, Odes of Solomon, chapter 8. And understand, I'm going to start at verse 13. And understand my knowledge, ye who know me in truth. Love me with affection, ye who love. For I do not turn away my face from them that are mine. For I know them, and before they came into being, I took knowledge of them, and on their faces I set my seal. Right, because it says the elect are going to resemble Yahushua. I fashioned their members, my own breasts I prepared for them, that they might drink my holy milk and live thereby. I took pleasure in them, and am not ashamed of them. So the Lord is not ashamed of his elect. All right, you might think things about them, but the Lord knows them. For my workmanship are they, and the strength of my thoughts. Who then shall rise up against my handiwork, or who is there that is not subject to them? Right, so you're going to be subjected to the elect men. Who is going to rise up against my handiwork? Right? Miriam tried to rise up against Moses, and what happened? The Lord ain't having it. You're not going to exalt yourself over the men of the elect. They're going to be princes on the earth. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Let's go chapter 8, verse 5. I'll start at 4 again. Where the word of a king is, there is power. Who may say unto him, what doest thou? Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. Because to every purpose there is a time and judgment, therefore the misery of man is great upon him. Right. So we have to be patient with the judgment of the Lord. Right. I know you want to go out there and think you're going to take the king, and it's not going to work that way. Right. We have to wait. For he knoweth not that which shall be, for who can tell him when it shall be. Right. We don't know when the Lord is going to make his appearance. We only know by the prophecies to pay attention to the times. There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither hath he power in the day of death. And there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. All this have I seen, and applied my heart unto every work that is done under the sun. That's right. There is a time wherein one man ruleth over another to his own hurt. Right, the Edomites are ruling over you to their own hurt. The nations, the Gentiles, the Hamites, the Ishmaelites, right, they're all ruling over you to their own hurt. Because Israel's scattered all over the four corners of the earth. And for the centuries, you've been beating down the children of God. Let's read. And so I saw the wicked buried, who had come and gone from the place of the holy. And they were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This is also vanity, right? Because the wicked, when they get destroyed, they're going to be forgotten. Everything they've done on the earth is going to be removed. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil, right? Nobody thinks the Lord is going to judge them, right? The kings and rulers and you Israelites, the sons of men. You think that you can be wicked on this earth and you're not going to get judged. You're going to be punished for it. Let's read. The Lord works with time. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Yahweh, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh. There is a vanity which is done upon the earth, and there be just men unto whom it happeneth according to the work of the wicked. Right. So Israelites and Gentiles, some of you end up being just because you're tired of seeing what the wicked are doing. Right. You're in the same boat. You become just because of what the wicked do. Your heart, your spirit that the Lord has put on you, you start seeing something. That spirit is going to lead you to the right men to learn the truth from. Let's read. Again, there be wicked men to whom it happeneth according to the work of the righteous. Right. So the righteous, the reason the wicked men get to prosper is because you won't come back to your Lord's commandments. So the wicked keep getting to rule. Right. You keep dealing with their paganism, their false beliefs. Right. What does it say in Revelation? It says, you get power into the beast, but you give it power. If you all stop celebrating Christmas, you're beating down the wicked. That's how they have power. Right. You support it. I said, this is also vanity. Then I commended mirth, because a man hath no better thing under the sun than to eat and to drink and to be merry. For that shall abide with him of his labor the days of his life, which Yahweh giveth him under the sun. This is your labor, the elect, right? The men who have it from the beginning, who have the money and are weaned from the milk. When I applied mine heart to know wisdom, and to see the business that is done upon the earth, for also there is that neither day nor night seeth sleep with his eyes. Then I beheld all the work of Yahweh, that a man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun, because though a man labor to seek it out, right? You want to know more, right? Yet he shall not find it. Yea, further, though as a wise man think to know it, yet shall he not be able to find it. Right? I can't tell you how how the plants grow. Right? I don't know how that works, but I definitely would like to find it. But I can't. I don't know that. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verses 1 through 20. Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor. So doth a little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor. A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart is at his left. Yea, also, when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him. And he saith to everyone that he is a fool. If the spirit of the ruler rise up against thee, leave not thy place, for yielding pacifieth great offenses. Right, so if the spirit of the ruler, which comes to the temple of the great men, who are the chosen elect of the Lord, rise up against you, don't move your feet. It's going to pacify your sins because you're taking heed and you're listening. That's right. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler, the kings of the earth today. Folly is set in great dignity, nonsense in the earth. YouTube, Instagram, just nonsense, reality TV. It's in great dignity, sports, entertainment. It's no wisdom. And the rich sit in a low place, right? So if you're one of the rich, you got the money, right? You're going to sit in a low place. Nobody wants to deal with you because you're not full of folly. That's right. You sit in a low place. Let's read. I have seen servants upon horses. Right. So the kings and rulers of the earth, they're supposed to be servants, right? Because you Israelites don't want to keep the commandments and the ordinance of your Lord. Donald Trump gets to rule over you. He's supposed to be your servant, right? All these kings in all these lands, Saudi Arabia, they're supposed to be serving Israel. But since you want to keep dealing with folly and nonsense, not only your people, but the Gentiles who the Lord has given perfect faith, they got to suffer these fools. Let's read. And princes walking as servants upon the earth, right? Because you've been bought out, right? You've been bought out. Satan put a spirit on you, and you done sold your entire truth out for money, for an NBA contract, right? You want to be an actor. You don't want to put the time in to learn who you really are. You know, you're a servant. That's all you are, is a servant. Let's read. He that diggeth a pit shall fall into it, the wicked. And whoso breaketh an hedge, a serpent shall bite him. Whoso removeth stones shall be hurt therewith, and he that cleaveth wood shall be in danger thereby. You keep dealing with false idols. If the iron be blunt, and he do not whet the edge, then must he put to more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. Surely the serpent will bite without enchantment, and a babbler is no better. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself. The beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischievous madness. Right. Nonsense. A fool also is full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him, who can tell? That's right. The labor of the foolish wearieth every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city. Right. He doesn't know how to get to the kingdom. So you keep listening to fools in the earth. You don't know how to get to Jerusalem. You don't know how to get your homeland back listening to fools, false prophets, and leaders of the black community, and even the northern tribes community, the Hispanics, so-called native Indians. Keep listening to these false leaders, shamanism and all that. Let's read. And the Catholic faith. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child. That's right, when your king is a child, he doesn't know the word of the Lord, right? You're a child. He's a 50-year-old kid. He has no wisdom or knowledge. And thy princes eat in the morning. Right, your princes eat in the morning. The children of the child, they get everything when they first, daddy gets rich, they get rich. They don't earn nothing. What do they tell you about business? It usually falls apart in the second generation. That's right, because daddy spoiled them. That's right, because they have no wisdom of the Lord. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles. Right, when your king is Yahushai from the line of the nobles. Right, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, from Adam, all the way down. Nobles, you Israelites, you are the sons of the nobles. Let's read. And thy princes eat in due season for strength and not for drunkenness. Right, so what you see with our people today, you eat for drunkenness because you get your money because you're a child. So you have 8,000 chains because you don't feel like you have any value. You're the only nation who lives like that because your value has been stripped from you by your enemies who hate the Lord, so they hate you. And so now you bow down to be a servant. Let's read. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through. Right, you let your kids be lazy, right? So they get drunk, they're lazy. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. That's right. The money, you got to know from the beginning to answer all things. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought. Don't curse Yahushai, not even in your thought. And curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. Right, don't curse the men who he's given the money. That's right, in your houses, in your rooms. Right, rolling your eyes, mocking. Right, let's read. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice. Right, the Lord's going to carry the bird of the air, the angel, is going to carry your voice. And that which he hath wings shall tell the matter. Right, the angel has the wings. He's going to tell the matter that you're cursing the great men, the men who have the money. Right? Ask Miriam how that worked out for her. Let's read Ecclesiastes chapter 11. Let's read verses 1 through 5. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Right? Cast your bread, this knowledge, on the waters. Put it out there. Let's read. Your portion. Give a portion to 7, and also to 8. For thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. Right, so if I perish, or one of the brothers perish, the elect, you don't know what's going to happen after you're gone. So make sure people have this knowledge from you. Right? Don't be hasty to just join up with people. If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if the tree fall toward the south, or toward the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of Yahweh, who maketh all. Right? Don't question what you're seeing with the men who have the money. Right? You don't know how the children are born in the womb. then you don't question what you see when the sun is shining on the earth, right? But it's important you know the men who have the doctrine from the beginning and to the end, because they've been ordained by the Father to get those who have perfect faith. Let's read Proverbs chapter 14. Anyone who's going against that, they're going to be destroyed. I'm going to show you. Proverbs chapter 14, verses 24 through 35. The crown of the wise is their riches. That's your crown, the money. But the foolishness of fools is folly, right? A true witness delivereth souls, right? The Lord has made himself known to you. You're a true witness. So you understand you're on this earth to deliver souls. You don't care about what they look like. You understand what looks mean, but you understand what the main purpose is. You know the mystery. But a deceitful witness speaketh lies. They're deceitful. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge, right? So if you have a man who fears the Lord, it's strong confidence, because you're going to have a place of refuge, because he's going to make your home holy. Let's read. That's why the Lord tells you not to deal with a donkey or an ass or a woman who's light in mind. Let's read. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. And the multitude of people is the king's honor, right? A multitude of people is Yahweh's honor. So who brings the multitude? Let's read. But in the want of people is the destruction of the prince, right? So if you're not delivering souls, you're a false witness, and you're going to be destroyed for it, because you're not bringing the king's multitude. Let's read. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding. That's right. You're not out there making people kiss your boots. You're slow to wrath. You pay attention. But he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. That's right. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bones. He that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honoreth him hath mercy on the poor. Right? Who's the rich? You're a prince of the Lord. You have the money. So you're not supposed to oppress the poor who don't understand. Let's read. That's why you're not supposed to be hasty in spirit. The wicked is driven away in his wickedness, but the righteous hath hope in his death. That's right. Mm-hmm. Wisdom resteth in the heart of him that hath understanding, but that which is in the midst of fools is made known. Right. The midst of fools, plural. That's right. Who can be against us? Mm-hmm. Righteousness exalteth the nation, but sin is the reproach to any people. The king's favor is toward the wise servant, but his wrath is against him that causeth shame. That's right. So you need to know the men who have the riches and not deal with the princes who cause shame. That's just part 2, to money, meat, bread, and wine. The next part, part 3, I think I could probably finish in part 3 and the whole thing. But we're going to get into Christ, and Christ is going to show you that by not hearkening to the men who have the money, the right men, you're not going to make it. It's a priority. Let's give all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and all praise to you, lost sheep of the house of Israel, and the Gentiles who fear God. And I hope the video is edifying. And again, if you've watched part 2 before you've seen part 1, definitely watch part 1, because I do it in order. Shalom.